Welcome to Football Rivals. Tonight we have the finale of Week 10 with the number one team in the nation, Texas A&M, taking on Ole Miss and the Rebels. See right there, number 1 versus number 15. Two great defensive teams this year, as they are in the top 7 for rushing yard, top 10, top 15 both teams are for rushing yards allowed, top 15 for interceptions. And Ole Miss is number 2 with fumbles forced, so they've got some big hitters out there on defense today. We will see Kai Cash, Billy Ray Bannon, Johnny Hobbs, Kyler Knight. This game is full of user recruits tonight. What a way to finish the week. And this is Football Rivals here in an SEC showdown. Texas A&M had the week off last week, I believe, and they are back in action tonight as they get fired up and ready to go against the Rebels of Ole Miss. Kyler Knight has had a great season so far, leading the Rebels to the point where they are right now at number 15, and they've actually overachieved by a lot to some people, to most people in our league. And they have a good chance here to upset the Aggies of Texas A&M. We will see, as you see the coin toss down there here at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. Billy Ray Bannon and company are down for the coin toss. It looks like A&M won the toss and has deferred and will be kicking to Kyler Knight and company. Kicks away and he's deep in his end zone. He does not take the touchback and he runs out. Randy Curtis does for a 32-yard return. Great return there for Ole Miss and the Rebels to start on offense with Kyler Knight and this Ole Miss offense. Ole Miss runs a Washington State playbook. They run it wide open, passing, balls to the wall. They're a offensive nightmare for teams that do not have good secondary and linebacking crews. And as we're saying that, the first play of the game, they run a speed option to the right side and get smacked in the backfield for a 4-yard loss, bringing up 2nd and 14 as they come out with 4 wide again. And this is the formation you'll see most nights as he does play action, hits a guy over the middle, and that's a great play. Gabe Rivera for a 9-yard reception over the middle. And that's what I was just saying. The Ole Miss Rebels love to pass. You'll see by the time the game's over, it'll be 70-30 in the pass column as they come out 4 wide again, 1 halfback. I believe it's Carroll in the backfield with Kyler Knight. As he takes a snap, he's got all day, he takes his time, he hits and it's interception. He throws an interception on the second pass of the game. He throws it to the Texas A&M, who's trying to hit a deep curl route for the first down out there to the left side, and Joe Brown sticks his big old meat paws up there and snags it out of the air as he was trying to hit Carroll on a wheel route. We were just talking about Carroll being in the backfield. He was trying to run a sneaky little wheel route out there, and he gets picked off for an interception there as Texas A&M is showing why they are number 1 team in the nation. They come out with Kai Cash in an I formation, hand it off to Johnny Hobbs off the left side. He stiff arms him and a defender playing patty cake out there to the left side, and he's bumbling, jumbling down for a 12-yard run. And Johnny Hobbs on his first carry of the game was a 12-yard run. Johnny Hobbs, Kai Cash, and Billy Ray Bannon are the 3 user recruits on this A&M team as the hole is open. Whoa, it closed pretty quick, but there was a huge hole there in the middle right off the snap of the ball. And with 2 rushes out of nowhere, Johnny Hobbs has 18 yards on the carry. 18 yards on the ground as A&M comes out in their 2 tight end formation to the left. Receiver bounces out in motion to the left. They run into off veer to the right side. And Johnny Hobbs picks up 5 yards for a first down. Texas A&M, as they have traveled here to Oxford tonight in the rain and mud. Sucks though, most of the youngsters anymore don't get to play in the mud because all the fields are turf, as is the case here tonight. But they will be playing in the slippery turf in the mud. All these beads are going to be sticking everybody as they hand it up to the backup running back right up the middle. And Ed Larson, big Ed Larson, number 47, bust up the middle for a 16-yard rush. And that's a first down Aggies as they are driving to the end zone now. The Rebels defense needs to step it up, and that has been the point of contact with the Rebels of losing some of their games this year has been the defense. They hit big, but they don't hit when they need to all the time. It's Ed Larson giving Hobbs another play to catch his breath. rolls out to the left side off of an off-tackle rush and gets 4 yards in the gain. And it's going to be 2nd and goal from the inch line as Hobbs comes back into the game. Too tight, too wide. Handed off to Hobbs at the middle. Oh, and he gets brick-walled at the goal line. And that's what we were just talking about, is there's a football named Buster Sullivan smacks Hobbs right at the 1 yard line and denies him, as that was a loss of yards. Big hit by the Rebels. They come out too tight again. Same formation. Kai Cash floats one out to the touchdown. It's a touchdown to Nick Harris. And he just kind of floated one little jump toss to the tight end. Well, it's a receiver that was lined up in kind of a tight end slot there. And the A&M Aggies are up. Here's a replay. Just kind of jump floats one over the middle, over the top of the defender's head. And that's a touchdown. And just like that, the Aggies are up 6-0 pending the extra point. And it's good. Blake Ryan nails another one as his, I don't know why it's showing that. Blake Ryan is the backup quarterback for the Aggies that did not win the job. He will most likely be playing somewhere next year. He will be transferring for sure, as Kai Cash will most likely be coming back to A&M for a second year. And Randy Curtis takes another one deep in the end zone, or not deep in the end zone, but a kickoff that should have been a touchback most likely. But he will run it out for a 23-yard return, and Ole Miss takes the ball again on offense. Come out. This time they're only 3 wide as they bring a halfback in the backfield, extra halfback for protection, it looks like. Kyler Knight floats one out to the right side, and he's got a first down to Gabe Rivero again. So far has been his favorite receiver, but it's been his only receiver that he's completed to, as he's now 2 of 3 for 22 and an interception. We were saying earlier in the game that the Rebels love to pass. They said they run a Washington State air raid offense. Very aggressive as they pitch it to the left side. Carroll's got room to move, and he stiff arms the defender, and he can't get him to the ground. As Ryan Carroll takes the pitch, good pitch by Kyler Knight there on the option to the left side, and Carroll will get a 2-yard gain, which is better than nothing. See big Billy Ray Bannon there with his cowboy collar on, playing middle linebacker for the Aggies. He's a force to be reckoned with as they hand it off to Carroll. A huge hole up the middle, and he rolls forward for an 11-yard rush, getting this Ole Miss Rebels team a first down. And the running game for both teams is doing very well tonight, as we talked about how well the Aggies or the Rebels pass, and then they come out with a great run game so far. 2 rushes for 13 yards as they speed sweep, and he floats one, and that was an RPO from hell, as that ball is still traveling through the air, probably into the stratosphere right now, as Kyler Knight, we don't know what he was thinking on that play. Come out 3 wide. They delay handoff to Carroll, and he gets stuck at the line of scrimmage. Actually falls backwards for a loss as Thomas King gets a tackle for loss. So he just fought off his defender and got to the play. And it will be 3rd and 11 now, as the Rebels are facing, not needing to punt the ball. They got to respond to Texas A&M. You can't fall behind to the Aggies too much, or else they will just pile on points. He has all day, and he sits there and he gets crushed. Kyler Knight was winding up to let one loose, and Matt Cruz hits him in the backfield for about a 6-yard sack, and it's going to bring up 4th and 17. As you saw him there winding up on the replay, he was about to let loose of something, but who knows? Well, the world will never know, as he takes a big monster hit by the Aggies. And meanwhile, the punt is away as he tries to pin them deep in their own territory, and it looks like it's going to be around the 30-ish. We'll see where the official spot is. You saw the replay there of the touchdown from Kai Cash on the last drive, as the coaches over there, on the defensive coordinators over there, trying to pump this team up. Yeah, I don't know how much more they need to be pumped up, as they're stiffing the Rebels so far, as they come out I formation, motion receiver in for a little protection maybe. Looks like the Rebels are bringing some heat, and they're not. And they hand it off to Hobbs, who floats it to the right side, and they kind of spied Hobbs on that play, and he gets a 4-yard rush. And that's his 5th carry of the game already for 26 yards. Coming out kind of a bunch formation to the left side. Kai Cash drops back. He's going to take off running. He diverts himself. He ran to the right side. It looked like he was going to get hit at the line of scrimmage. Stops on a dime and cuts to the left side. And that's why Kai Cash is such a special quarterback, guys. He is definitely going to be high on draft boards for the pro draft year 2. Because he will be coming back for a second year in the college season. It's 3rd and inches, the handoff to Hobbs. He has the hole up the middle, and he makes contact about 2 yards after the line of scrimmage and falls forward for about 3 more for a first down. That's going to be first down right at midfield, about the 44-yard line, 46-yard line of the Aggies. Kai Cash making some changes. Play action, gets rid of the ball right before he gets loose. Right before he gets hit. He was about to get hit in the backfield for a sack. Would have been a big play for the defense of the Rebels. But Cash felt the heat coming and got rid of the ball. Little wishbone shotgun formation. Both halfbacks take off in a formation, and Kai Cash is take off. And he slid, and he probably, if he would have stayed on his feet, he could have gotten 5 to 8 more yards more. As you see here, nothing. His quick reads aren't there. Nothing's deep. Saw the pocket was degrading. Took off running, cut inside, and he probably could, like I said, he probably could have gotten 5 to 8 more yards. Who knows what he could have done? Because this kid is special, guys. The Aggies come out too tight. Play action to Hobbs. Has all day, floats it over the middle and hits a guy in about 12 yards past the line of scrimmage. 12 yards deep for a first down to Nick Harris. And the Aggies are rolling, and this is exactly what you do not want to see as a Rebels fan here at home in Oxford. The Aggies in the rain are on their second drive, just driving downfield as they hand it off to Hobbs in the bunch formation to the left, and the ball's on the ground, Hobbs fumbled it, Hobbs dropped it in. Ole Miss has the ball. Ole Miss, and that's what we were saying before the game. The Rebels are the number 2 team in forcing fumbles in this league, and you see the corner just comes over Coleman, it looks like. Flew like a rocket and just launched himself into the ball carrier Hobbs, and the ball went shooting out as the Rebels will now take possession of the ball. Kyler Knight in this offense takes a shotgun formation, floats it to the right side, and he almost throws an interception again. As he hits his favorite target, Gabe Rivero, for his 3rd reception of the game. That was a dangerous pass, but it pays off for him as they get 1st and 10. Kyler Knight is now 3 of 5 with that pick lingering from the early first quarter. And it's carry. Oh my God! Billy Ray Bannon came flying through like the redneck trailer park that he is, and he just lit up Carroll. Carroll didn't even go end over end. He just melted into the ground as Billy Ray Bannon just destroyed Carroll. Watch Bannon out here. He's covering a receiver. Oh, and Knight throws another interception. Kyler Knight was about to get hit in the backfield for a big sack, and he let loose a dot. And his receiver didn't turn around to look for it, and Joe Brown did. And I believe that's Joe Brown's 2nd interception on the game now. As Kyler Knight in the first quarter has now thrown 2 interceptions, and the Aggies will take over the ball. Under center, Cash drops back, floats one out to the outside, and the defender misses the ball, and the receiver has the ball, and I think this is Parker. No, this is John Moore for a 46-yard reception as the Aggies are just rolling on fire now. Contact at the line of scrimmage. Cash sees him, floats one out. Number 20 there went for the interception, missed. That's why you have to know where you're at, guys. You can't miss your target. If you miss your target, you end up paying dearly. And now the Aggies, with 40 seconds left in the first quarter, are down to the 10-yard line, about the 11-yard line of the Rebels. They play action to Hobbs. Or actually, that was Larson. Cash is going to run up the middle and try to get what he can as he gets about 4 yards on the rush. Nothing was there, and that might be the last play of the first quarter. Looks like if they want to, they can run another play as they come out in offset I formation. Fullback in motion to the left side. Play action to Hobbs. He's got somebody in the middle, but he's going to take off running, and he's going to slide after another 2 or 3 yard gain. And that will be the end of the first quarter as the Aggies are set up to score here again. Deep within the Ole Miss Rebels side of the field. My bad, guys. I'm going to take a water break, and I'll meet you on the flip side. Cash coming out under center. Too tight. Tight end motion from left to right. Out to the receiver position. They hand it off to Hobbs, and Hobbs is going to go for the first down. He puts his head down, lowered his head, and he gets a 2-yard rush, and it's going to be first and goal from the 1 yard line for the Aggies here, looking to go up by 2 scores on the Rebels. Cash under center. Floats one to the right side, and that's going to be a touchdown to John Moore, the guy that made the big play about 3 plays ago, the 46-yard reception. And Kai Cash floats it out to him to let him finish the job, and the Aggies are about to be up 14-0 on the Rebels. A lot of guys had the Aggies picked to win this game by 10 or more points, but I did not expect them to go up 13-0, 14-0 in the second quarter, as the kick is up, and it is good. But that's just one of the beauties of watching pure simulation football here with football rivals. You never know what you're going to get. You think we're going to zig, and then the team zags. Never know what's going to come, who's going to show up each game, as this kick will finally not be returned for a kickoff return, as he buries it in the back of the end zone. He's tired of him returning his kicks, and he says, you know what, I'm going to bury it as deep as I can, and you're not getting out of this hole. If you're new to football rivals, we are a pure simulation management style CPU versus CPU league. Most of these players are 4-0 as Carroll dinks and dunks and dives and jukes and gets 9 yards. That was the most movement I've ever seen on a 9-yard run in my life, as he got 9 on that play, and he now has 5 rushes for 18 yards. Come out 4 wide. Carroll's in the backfield with Kyler Knight as the delayed handoff to Carroll. He's got room, and he goes over the middle, and he pays the price for the first down, but he does get the first down as he pays the price. But the Rebels have to get something going here. You hear this crowd trying to get them behind them. Come out 4 wide, 2 left, 2 right. Carroll is heaving in the backfield, trying to catch his breath as they hand it off to him on another delayed handoff, and he is swallowed up in the backfield. He's not hurt, but he is slow getting up as he was trying to catch his breath for dear life back there. And he is out for a couple plays now as the backup comes in, the number 2 halfback, as he releases in a little wheel route, and he hits a receiver coming across the middle on a drag route for a 3-yard run or 3-yard route, and that's a Johnny Morris reception of 3 yards, which will bring up 3rd and 6 for the Rebels, and they have to get a first down here. As you see, 3rd down conversions, they are 0 for 2 so far as they come out 4 wide, 2 left, 2 right. Carroll's still taking a breather. Kyler Knight has room, and he hits a guy over the middle for about a 20-yard reception, and that's a 17-yard gain by Johnny Morris again for a first down, and that's the poise that you see Kyler Knight is used to doing. As long as he has time and protection, his offensive line stepped up on that play, but the Aggies were only rushing about 4 guys. But as long as he has time, he will pick you apart out there. As you see, they're very balanced, which is shocking to me because they are a very unbalanced scheme-wise offense. Carroll's back in, and he hands it off to him, and he's hit in the backfield by Billy Ray Bannon again off that right side as the heat-seeking redneck just destroys him after he picks up 1 yard, and Carroll is slow to get up again as he is probably just paying the heavyweight boxing price of going toe-to-toe with as he is he will roll forward for an 8 as he goes to 3rd and 2 now, and he was head between his knees as he is just slow to get up. Man, to go take a break, Carroll. You got to admire the cojones on this guy as he needs to take a break, and he is just staying on the field. But he is out for this play for 3rd down. It's going about 3 wide right, 1 wide left. Knight cocks it, takes a shot. Oh, and that was almost Everything was done right on that play except the receiver keeping his foot down. And deep in the Aggies' territory, the Rebels will punt. As the punt is up, and he's going to try to pin them deep in their own territory, and it looks like he did get it down to about the 7. We'll see what the official spot is after this. Looks like the Aggies will take over around the 11-yard line as Kai Cash, play action to the right, takes off to the left side. There's nothing in front of him. He is going to take off with the ball, and he picks up 10 more yards on a tally board as he has now got 5 rushes for 40 yards, and no one was in front of him. They play action to the right side. The whole defense bit with it, and he just took off to the left with nothing in front of him but open space for 10 yards. Tight end motion from the left to the right. Play action to Hobbs, takes a shot wide open over the middle, and that looks like it was Mike Hunter with the 18-yard reception. The tight end, big tight end there, as he releases and gets in on the action. As Kai Cash is one of the best quarterbacks for distributing the ball. As you've seen him hit a couple of his receivers and his halfbacks now. And now he's getting his tight ends involved. And when Kai Cash and this Aggie offense start clicking on all cylinders, that's when you need to be afraid, guys. Receiver in motion from left to right. All the way to the right side. Cash drops back. Dumps it to the drag route that was coming from the right to the left. And Mike Hunter on another reception for 9 yards this time as he's getting involved in this gameplay on this drive. Like the offensive coordinator on the side over there was like, we are going to involve Mike Hunter on this drive. And so far he's gotten back-to-back receptions. Get off me. Number 31 was trying to slow down the clock, slow down the momentum, the tempo of this offense. And Hunter told him, yeah, get the heck off me, as some of these linemen are starting to breathe a little heavy. They hand off to Hobbs up the middle. He's got a huge hole. He jukes to the left side. He's off to the races down the left sideline, and the Rebels will catch him after a 32-yard strike. And Hobbs is now at 69 yards. Look at that juke. The receiver out there, number 12, blocking for him, going downfield and getting the block for his teammate, as that was a huge play, and you see the crowd is getting silent as the Aggies are getting loud here. Aggies come out shotgun formation, 4 wide. They hand it off to Hobbs again to the left side. It looks to be the left side. That right side of the Rebels defense looks like it might be the weak side, as I think Texas A&M has figured it out, and they are going to pick on that side. Come out too tight, too wide. Hobbs is breathing a little heavy now in the backfield. 2nd and 3, they hand off to Hobbs. He kind of delays, stutter steps, tries to find his hole, falls forward for a 2-yard rush, and that will bring up 3rd and 1 for Texas A&M in this offense. Looks like Larson's came in the backfield with another halfback. Cash with a quick pass. He had a guy over the middle to the left side he probably could have, if he would have bulleted it or taken a dime, as the Aggies are going to come out on 4th and 1 and go for it. And they're like, you know what? Why the heck not? We're winning by 2 scores already. There's 2:58 left in the second quarter. It's 4th and 1 deep in the Rebels field. And Kai Cash, he has a guy over the left side, and he hits him to the left side. He had a receiver open to the right side, too, as Mike Hunter might be a receiver. He's just a big dude out there. Or he might be a tight end subbing in at receiver formations. But the Aggies, nonetheless, will have 1st and goal, 2 tight, 2 wide right. As they're about the 3-yard line. Cash floats back, hits a receiver on a little tunnel screen there. It's to John Moore, who does catch it, but it gets 0 yards on the reception.
That brings up 2nd and goal.
That was our man, Buster Sullivan, making a big hit out there on the receiver to keep him from floating into the end zone. We're at 2.5 minutes here in the first half. You are watching Football Rivals as Texas A&M and user-created Kai Cash is driving this offense down. He's got a wide-open receiver, Perry Parker, for the touchdown. That's a 2-yard touchdown. Kai Cash, 9 of 11 for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns now, as Perry Parker got the separation off that right sideline. And it was that's clockwork, guys. Wide open, deep in the end zone, no one near him. He just beat his man off the line of scrimmage, and that will be A 3-score lead as the kick is up and good. And the Aggies are now up by 3 scores. We're about to hit halftime, 21-0. Watch these replays, or this highlight, the score recap that may or may not happen, or be real. And I'm going to be right back.
Texas A&M is lined up for the kickoff. Curtis deep to return.
The Aggies kick it, and again, you can tell he was a little perturbed that his first 2 kickoffs were returned from about 2 or 3 yards deep in the end zone. He is putting his whole body into it now, burying them deep in the back of the end zone. As the Rebels come out 3 wide, two halfbacks in the backfield, Kyler Knight has got to get this Rebels team going, or else they are just going to be playing. Oh, and he goes down. Knight is sacked for 8 yards as DJ Cook gets in the mix here. Cook is getting in the kitchen. Gets him a sack, tackle for loss, first sack of the game. He just pushes his defender back. Big 78 Williams. He said, get the heck out of the way. I'm getting to the quarterback. And that brings up 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 18. And things are not looking good for the Rebels as they've got to get some points for halftime. Throw a little quick screen to the left side. And Gabe Rivero somehow catches that. I think it was a 2-yard gain. Who knows? It's 3rd and 16 here, 3 wide. Delayed handoff to Carroll. Carroll puts his head down and gets as much as he can, which is a 9-yard gain. And the Rebels are content or resigned, it appears, to just go into halftime down by 3 scores. But there's a minute 50 left. The Aggies are going to get it with about a minute 30 left in the game. Minute 40 in the half, I mean. And they could... Ooh, as he just throat punches. Ed Larson throat punches his first contact. As you see, Kai Cash has been money. 3 of 4 in the first quarter, 6 of 7 in the second quarter. 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, 1 in the first. And I would just keep passing it all day long. They've been passing to open up the run with Hobbs, and Hobbs has benefited. He's around 78 as they throw it to Hobbs to the right side, and it's a loss of a yard. Don't do that again. Just hand it off to Hobbs and let him juke and jive out there in the open field, as you've got Hobbs and Larson in the backfield. That's 2 hosses at halfback. They throw the same exact play to Hobbs, and he gets his yard back. See the 2 receptions of negative 0.5 yards. Four wide here on 3rd and 10 as Hobbs sets up the screen. He has it. He didn't like it. He's just going to sit there, and Cash is finally going to take a big hit. And the Ole Miss Rebels will take a timeout, bring it up 4th and 22 as their defense finally shows up with a big hit on Kai Cash. Punts deep, and he is seated pretty quickly after a 7-yard return. And no one expected the Rebels to come out here and just blow the top off here and defeat the #1 team in the nation, the defending national champions, without a fight. But you expected something of a bigger fight than what they're giving here. As Kyler Knight floats one out to the left side, and he's going to get a first down pass here to Gabe Rivero again as this 11-yard reception. He did not get out of bounds, so they had to call a timeout. You see a 7-11 now for 68 yards. And the Rebels are driving down the field. They've got to get at least a field goal before halftime here. Keep it in. The Knight takes a shot down the field, and he hits a guy. That was a laser dot to Randy Curtis for 39 yards. And Curtis is the guy that was ticking off the kicker, returning the kickoffs back, and he is the recipient of a dot by Kyler Knight. And Knight's floating their blitz, and he's going to float it to the left side, and that's going to be incomplete as the receiver couldn't get his foot down. But what a shot on the earlier play as Kyler Knight just set his feet, trusted his arm, and shot it between 2 defenders of A&M Aggies. Halfback motion to the right side. Kyler Knight in shotgun formation, 3 wide with 4th in that halfback. Floats out a quick screen to the receiver, and it's going to be 30 seconds left to go after a 5-yard reception of Oliver Howe. And it's 3rd and 5. Clock's ticking, 25 seconds. Rebels snap the ball, shotgun formation. He's got a guy. He's going to hit his halfback. Safety valve to the left side. Is he going to get the first down? Yes, they ruled it a first down, so the clock stops on this first down, but the Rebels have got to get on the ball and get ready to go, and they're taking their sweet time as maybe they took a timeout. It looks like they took a timeout. 4 wide. Delayed handoff to Carroll. I don't understand that play call at all, as it was 15 seconds left, and now you're in hurry-up mode with only 1 timeout. They're going to get a snap off. They're going to get one more play off here, but that was a dumb play call as there's 4 seconds left. They hit Carroll on the pass. They call a timeout. It looks like they will take the 3 points and take the field goal here before halftime as there's 2 seconds left on the clock, and the kick team comes out. In the rain, this might be tricky. The ball might be slippery. They might drop the ball. You know, you never know. It's not a given. As the ball snap, kick is up, and it is good. And it will not be a shutout now as the Ole Miss Rebels at halftime are now trailing 21-3 as the Aggies look to continue to make light work against this Rebels team. I'll see you in a minute after halftime. As you see some of the highlights here, the Aggies are just having their way with the Ole Miss Rebels defense on the passing front, but Hobbs has had a good game on the ground too, which has been set up by this unprecedented attack in the air of the Kai Cash led Aggies, and I'm shocked actually that I figured it would be like 21-10, 14-10, something like that at halftime, but I am shocked that they went down the field and were up 21-0 literally until the final seconds of the first half. As you see, Kai Cash alone has more, the Aggies have more rushing yards than the Ole Miss Rebels have passing yards. It's crazy. But the Ole Miss Rebels do have 2 turnovers as they've created a fumble for the Aggies. And Kyler Knight has thrown 2 interceptions to the same guy. And that's the reason why the Rebels needed to score some points here before halftime, is they have to kick it away to Kai Cash and this Hobbs led as Hobbs takes the kickoff. And it will be a touchback. And the Aggies come out. You got to think they're going to try to run the ball and assert their dominance. In the rain, in the bad weather, as they play action again. Cash takes a shot to the left side to Hobbs to Hollis, and that's a 6-yard reception to Ryan Hollis. And it'll be 2nd and 4 as they look to pick up right where they left off. He's only missed on 2 passes as he's now 12 of 14. Man in motion from left to right. Cash is under center. Hands it off to Hobbs to that right side, who from the get-go puts his head down. I think he expected some confrontation out to that right side, but there was none. But that's 12 rushes now for 80 yards for Johnny Hobbs, and he's having a great game on the ground. A game like this with this weather, you kind of expect the run game to be there. And so far for the Aggies, they have produced. As play action, Kai Cash takes a shot down the right side, and his receiver, and that was John Moore again, who just burnt his defender. Somebody get that guy help, as that's twice now. The first time was the touchdown pass, as he just cannot defend that guy. It was a press defense coverage, and John Moore just patty kicked him out of the way and took off down the sideline, and he's doing the feed me. You got to just keep hitting Moore until they get that guy some help over there. You got to bring a safety down or double team him or something. As the Aggies come back, Hobbs and Kai Cash, and finally Kai Cash decided to try to run up the middle, and he's finally met by Mike Larson for a sack, and that's going to be 2nd and 14 for the Aggies, as Larson just got off his defender, got off his blocker, and then went like a beeline rocket straight for Kai Cash's body. So here come the Aggies out in that wishbone shotgun, hits Larson out to the flats, and Larson takes a big hit out there, but he does get 8 yards. It says 7. He does get 7 yards on the reception, as Cash is now at 153 for 3 touchdowns, and that was Jimmy Hayford, who got burned on the big play earlier. at the end of the first half. And the Aggies are now facing a third down. This is only the seventh one they've had, as you saw there on the graphic. They are 4 of 6 for third down conversions. Cash takes a snap, hits the man over the middle, and it doesn't look like he'll get the first down here, as this was John Moore again for a 7-yard reception, but it's going to be 4th and inches. Will they take the field goal or will they go for it? And I like your style, Aggies. The Aggies are coming out 4th and inches, leading by 18. 3 wide, tight end right. Hobbs in the backfield. Give it to Hobbs. Cash has the blocker set up. Hobbs has the blocker set up. Cash hands it off to Hobbs, and Hobbs rumbles forward, almost getting into the end zone for a 13-yard rush down to the 2-yard line. And what a play by Johnny Hobbs, as this looks like it's going to be a power right to the right side, up the gut. And they hand it off to Hobbs to the right side. All the blockers are there. Larson rolls forward. Larson took some contact about the 1-yard line, spun off of it, and went into the end zone. And that's a Texas A&M touchdown, as now the Aggies are leading with the extra point by 25 points.
The kick is good.
And this running back combo of Ed Larson and Johnny Hobbs is just a nightmare for defenders for defenses to try to figure out what to do with. As the kickoff's only about a yard deep, and he's going to return it again. He's got blockers out to the left side. He's down the sideline, and he got shoestring tackled as Randy Curtis. He didn't actually get tackled, but Randy Curtis got shoestring tripped up down on his way to a 41-yard return. And who knows if that guy wouldn't have got a hold of his shoe. He looked like he was off to the races. As Kyler Knight takes the shotgun formation here, floats it out to the right side, and he's met as soon as he catches it as Paul Jones receives it. That's his second on the day for 6 yards, but he had no hope of going anywhere. As Kyler Knight, young man, you have to take some shots now. You're down by 25 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. As he, helicopter tackled. Randy Curtis took the ball, and I guess he decided, he's like, hey, Ma, watch me do a helicopter. And he tried to jump through one of those tackles, and the second guy hit him, and he was just airborne. And it is now 3rd and 7 for the Rebels. So Kyler Knight takes another dump-off play over the middle to Gabe Rivero for a 5-yard reception, and that brings up 4th and 3. And you think the Rebels would have gone for it, especially at midfield, and they're succeeding on getting the little 3 to 5 yard receptions. But they will be punting it, and the punt is up. And it's going to be a touchback as it bounces out of the back of the end zone. And Kai Cash and the Texas A&M Aggies, #1 in the nation, offense who is kicking butt, having their way with this defense, comes back onto the field. Offset strong eye to the right. Cash is going to get sacked. That was a loss of 6 yards as Chauncey McConnell, sounds like a fancy little man, Chauncey McConnell, comes in off the defensive end or defensive tackle and hits Cash. He's tired of Cash having his way with this team. And as now Cash and the Aggies come out 2nd and 16, drops back. Cash slips in the mud, and he's going to go down on another sack as Cash slipped, lost his footing in the mud, and Matthew Harper makes him pay. And that's a big sack for the Rebels here. And this is some life by the defense of Ole Miss here, as it's 3rd and 24 now with 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's hit in his own end zone to John Moore for 3 yards, just for a little more breathing room for their punter. And that's going to be 4th and 21 is on its way, as their punter is standing about 7 yards deep in the back of the end zone. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and he boots it away. There's no one in front of the returner if this is Curtis, as he tries to get some separation but runs right into the first defender on his way to a 10-yard return. And we are now 28-3. Texas A&M leading the Rebels. 2:52 to go in the third quarter. And Kyler Knight comes out with 4 wide. shotgun formation. Take a shot, young man, as he does to the left side. He takes a shot to the left side, and that was a dot. As the receiver thought maybe he was going to float it, but he had to. That was Gabe Rivero again on his 7th reception. As you see the communication here, these two guys must be practicing together a lot, as Rivero kind of stutter-step hesitated to catch that pass. I think he thought it was going to be floated more than it was, and Knight saw the defenders closing in on him, struck it straight as a laser shot to him, and that's a great play there for Ole Miss. Next play, Kyler Knight is now 15 of 21 for 154 yards, and unfortunately, the deal breaker in this game so far, the 2 interceptions. As they're coming up on 2nd and 10, bunch tight left. Takes the snap, he runs to the right side, and that's the thing. That's what I've been expecting more of Kyler Knight today, as he runs off, takes off to the right side for a 4-yard rush. Kyler Knight has wheels. He can run, and he's just not using them today. But in his defense, the defense has been all over him, as the Aggies have been sacking him left and right today. Come out 3rd and 6. This is one of the first times. Takes a shot to the left side, and that's a touchdown to Randy Curtis. Kyler Knight with another dot. And that's when that's what we were just saying. When Kyler Knight is on fire, he will make you pay. And that was a shot to the left side, and the Aggies the Rebels finally get a touchdown. As Kyler Knight and Randy Curtis hook up a couple times with Gabe Rivero in there also on the way to a touchdown. And we now have an 18-point game. I'm not going to say it's over, but it might be over unless this Rebels defense can stop the Aggies again, just like they did on the previous drive. Hobbs takes the knee. The Aggies will come out, and you can see their uniforms right there. Man, it's just a nasty field down there today. The rain is starting to wear down on the defenses, I think, as the Aggies finally let up a touchdown there on that drive. The Aggies come out, Kaikash under center. Drops back. He's going to take off up the middle. He's being spied, it looks like, by the middle linebacker, but he shimmies past him and gets hit by the second guy on his way to an 11-yard rush. And Kaikash now has 10 rushes for 22 yards. If you remember, he had about 40 yards rushing, but that last drive was 4th and 26. He lost about 15 to 20 yards of those. As the delayed handoff to Hobbs at the middle, and he just punches that guy out of his way. The first defender that steps up to try to tackle him, and Hobbs is 2 yards away from a 100-yard game. And I feel like it's been a couple games since Hobbs has had a 100-yard game, but him and Cash are just such key contributors to this offense. So they hand it to Hobbs, and he's going to lose yards or get tackled right at the line of scrimmage. As Howard Bryan wasn't fooled by the delayed handoff to the offside. And the Aggies are now 4-8, 50% on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 5. Hobbs don't know what this play is, and Cash is throwing an interception, and that's going to be a pick 6, and that was a very interesting play. I'm confused. Sorry for not showing more excitement, but that is a touchdown by Jimmy Hayford, who got burned earlier. And that was an interesting play, as it looked like it was supposed to be like maybe a play-action bubble screen of some kind, but Hobbs really never did play action. And the whole offense kind of just sat there and waited for the defense to set up, and Hayford didn't wait for the ball to get to the receiver and jumped in front of it. And just like that, we've had a 14-point swing with the extra point. That is up and is good. And just like that, we've had a 14-point swing, and now the Rebels are in this game. This game is not over now. If you're enjoying tonight's game, tell us you are. Go down to the comments section. Make some comments. Like the video. Like the game. Thumbs up it. Subscribe. We've got more to come, as college season is in week 10 this week. This is the last game of week 10. Go watch last night's Saturday night game done by our own professional Skip Lloyd. He is top tier grade A talent calling games on Saturday night. The NC State Wolfpack took on the North Carolina Tar Heels, and that was a good game for the Ages. It spurred a lot of rivals talk, smack talk that we love to see. That's why our league is named Football Rivals. We love the rivalry. As Hobbs rolls forward for 4 yards, and that's going to be his 100 yards.
That makes it 2nd and 6.
But down in the Discord last night, there was some heated discussion post-game last night of the Skip Lloyd called game, and there was some talk in the game also. So go watch that. Watch the live chat replay. Get involved as Cash takes off the left side and he rolls forward to avoid the sack. He hit the defender and somehow ninja rolled over him, and that might be the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd and 5 here. Kai Cash, 3 wide right. He's letting the clock bleed down. Nope, he will snap the ball before the 3rd quarter and hits a receiver over the middle, and Nick Harrison. That's a 7-yard reception for a first down, which stops the clock momentarily. But that's more than likely as it does finally tick down there. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. You see the replay there to John Morris earlier, and that was a great play. And all of a sudden now, guys, we have an 11-point game. 4th quarter. Let's see who wants it more here at the end. As Kai Cash and the Aggies come out here in 2-tight formation again. Under center, 2 wide right. Hands it off to Hobbs up the middle. He's got blockers set up, and he puts his hand out, but he doesn't get past the first initial contact. But that is a 9-yard rush as Hobbs is now 111 with 17 carries on the day. Shotgun formation, Hobbs in the backfield. Hobbs releases, hits a guy over the middle for the first down, and that's going to be Perry Parker, who had a touchdown earlier in the game.
Gain of 5 yards. That makes it 1st and 10.
For a first down, Aggies. Kai Cash is approaching 175. He's got 175 yards, approaching 200 yards in the day passing. He hasn't had to do much work, but his 3 touchdowns are very evident as they hand it off to Larson. Hobbs released out to the backfield. Looked like it was going to be a little swing sweep pass. The defense went with him, and they handed off to Larson up the middle for an 8-yard gain, which brings up 2nd and 2. 7 minutes left to go in the game. We have an 11-point game here. Like I said, this game's not over as they do a jet sweep to the left side. He's got room off the left side, and he rolls forward. John Moore somehow gets 6 yards, and he's hurt. John Moore is hurt on this play, and that's going to be a big problem for the Aggies here as John Moore will not be on this play. We'll keep our eye down at the bottom of the screen for the ticker. As Cash snaps the ball in the shotgun formation and takes off to the right side, trying to get an option set up with Hobbs. He should have pitched like right off the bat, but he didn't. He kept it, and he goes down hard, bringing up 2nd and 14. But again, they are, and you see Moore, he's got a bruised ankle. It says he will return soon. So maybe at the end of this drive, by the end of the quarter for sure, we should see Moore come back in the game. Play action, good pickup block by the tight end there, and they hit Hobbs in the backfield, and that's a 2-yard loss as the Rebels defense, the last 3 to 4 drives, the Rebels defense finally decides to show up in this game, which is why we are in an 11-point game now. They hit Hobbs in the backfield, bringing up 3rd and 16 now. Shotgun formation, 4 wide, 3 right. Cash takes a dot, and that's a shot. Perry Parker, 23-yard reception. He now has 3 on the day for 30 yards, and that was a shot. As you see Cash from his point of view there, the defender hesitated following the guy over the middle in the crossing route, and that left the small window there for Perry Parker to get the recipient of the pass. And that's a big play there by the Aggies as they're now driving. You see, when they're in the red zone tonight, they're 100%, 4 of 4. Moore goes in motion from the left to the right. Looks like they're going to hand it off to Hobbs. He has blockers. He does run into the defender, though. Number 22 there. That was Larson, actually. as that was Larson's fifth rush for 32 yards, and that's crazy because Larson only has 5 for 32, and Hobbs is well over 100 at around 115 on the day, as Hobbs is back in the backfield now. Looks like they're strong right. They're just letting the clock tick down. Delayed handoff to Hobbs. He rolls forward for 4 yards, and that's going to be 3rd and 4. As you see there, like I said, Hobbs is now at 115 on the day. Aggies coming out too tight, and they're driving and letting this clock tick. Toss to the left side. Hobbs beats the defender. He had him off, and he couldn't get the extra yard needed for the first down. He got 2 of the 3 needed, and the Aggies are just going to kick the extra point here to go up by 14. They should let this clock tick down as low as they can, but they don't. And kicks up in a good. It's good. They're up by 14. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. What can Kyler Knight and this Rebels offense have dialed up to get back in this game now? They've got to score, and they've got to score fast. As Carroll takes the kneel down in the backfield, or in the end zone. See, these two defenses are playing great today. Fumbles forced, interceptions, sacks. There's 6 sacks, 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. Defenses are hitting each other and hitting each other hard as the Rebels come out 3 wide left. Hand off to Carroll up the middle. He gets punished after a 3-yard gain. And Carroll is now approaching 50 yards as he's at 42 after Tony Golden and company smack him on the line of scrimmage. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the game. 2nd and 7. Play action. Kyler Knight has the ball. He runs to the right side. He's going to get the first down as he runs for 8 yards. And Kyler Knight finally gets that other aspect of his game going, showing that he's got a little bit of speed too going out to the outside. Rebels come out 4 wide. Play action. RPO style. They hit Kenneth Walker, who's their tight end, over the middle on an RPO pass to the tight end over the middle for a 5-yard reception. And that was the ugliest 5 yards I've ever seen gained. Rebels are driving, though, 3.5 minutes, but they've got to get down the field faster. They're not getting big enough chunks. Kyler Knight takes a shot over he beans it over the middle to Gabe Rivero again, who takes a hard hit at the end of this play. And that's his 8th reception for 88 yards. Shotgun formation. Kyler Knight takes the snap, drops back. Aggies are blitzing. Kyler Knight takes a shot down the right side, and that's a touchdown to Gabe Rivero. Touchdown, Rebels. Touchdown, Kyler Knight. That is what the Rebels needed to get back in this game. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a ball game, as after this extra point, the Rebels are back within a touchdown, 31-24. And Kyler Knight and this offense are on fire. They are setting fire to the rain and driving down the field. Now the defense has to set up with a little over 3 minutes to go. It looks like Larson will get the kickoff, and he's running up the middle, and Ed Larson on his way to a 26-yard return. What a drive. Can we talk about that drive by the Rebels for a minute? That was an amazing drive, like 4 or 5 plays. Dink, 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 shot, touchdown. Congratulations, Kyler Knight. That is why you will be a great second-year quarterback, too, when you get some more recruits behind you. As the Aggies hand off to Hobbs, and he's going to lose 2 of those rushing yards after Buster Sullivan hits him in the backfield. And this crowd is getting loud, and this crowd is getting into it as it's 2nd and 12. 2:50 to go in the game. They've got to stop the Aggies here on this drive and get the ball back. Motion from the right to the left. They're just bleeding the clock here. 10 on the play clock. Hand it off to Hobbs. He jukes off the left side. He beats the defender. He's down the sideline, and he's on his way. This is what you cannot let Hobbs do, on his way to a 26-yard rush as he sidesteps 1 or 2 defenders, breaks through 1 tackle, stiff arms another guy, pushes him off, and finally gets tripped up after a 26-yard rush, and that's why Johnny Hobbs will be one of the best running backs drafted in this first pro draft. When I get a minute, I'm going to tell you more about the pro draft coming up. As Kai Cash is under center, a touchdown would effectively end this game, as they're going to let the clock tick down. 8, 7. They're going to let the play clock tick down about 3 seconds and snap the ball. Cash drops back. He's got protection. He hits Hobbs or Larson out of the backfield. That's Larson, actually. Larson loses yards as Ole Miss calls a timeout. It's going to be 2 minutes to go. 2nd and 14. And that's right, guys. We will have a pro draft at the end of this college season, and Hobbs is tackled and is just swallowed up in the backfield as the Rebels call another timeout. At the end of this college season, this is college season year 2. We will have a pro draft with all new teams, most new cities, or some cities you recognize, but some cities that are new. Guarantee you the teams are new. You've never seen logos like these before. You've never seen teams before. And Ole Miss has stopped them with their three timeouts, and it's going to be 4th and 21, and the Aggies are punting the ball away to the Rebels, who will get one more shot with about 1:45 in the game. As he breaks through the first set of tacklers, and it's dead on 1:45 after Randy Curtis gets a 17-yard return. And if you're enjoying the Football Rivals college season that you've seen so far, which 90,000 views say that you are, we have more in store. We're not going anywhere. We're not losing the college season. We're including the pro draft as Kyler Knight takes a shot to his favorite target again, Gabe Rivero down the right side, and that's his 10th reception for 154 yards. You got to think players like Gabe Rivero are going to be in the pro draft. As Kyler Knight takes another shot down the left side, and he's intercepted. Texas A&M has basically just ended the game. What a play. That's a knife in the heart as Kyler Knight floats this ball, puts everything under it, and he may have had a touchdown, but instead he tries to frozen rope it, and Fletcher gets the interception, and that's got to be a heartbreaker for the Ole Miss Rebels at number 15 in the nation, eyeing trying to upset the number 1 Aggies as they hand off to Hobbs up the middle, and a first down would effectively end this game. As it's 2nd and 9, clock's just going to tick down to 3 seconds. They're going to snap the ball. It's probably going to be a run. They hand off to Hobbs left side. No one's in front of him as he's about 6 to 7 yards deep before he even gets touched. Falls forward for an 8-yard rush. And that's 40 seconds. 3rd and 1. Good game. This has been a great game, especially after everyone thought the game was over in the first half when the Aggies went up 21-0. As Hobbs gets the first down, 5 seconds left to go in the game. That's going to be ball game, guys. I have been your commissioner back. I have been your play-by-play commentary, commissioner back. Again, I'm not the pro. Go watch the Saturday night game last night between NC State and North Carolina. That's the pro commentator. But Kai Cash and the number 1 Aggies with Johnny Hobbs are the victors tonight. They win by 7. The Rebels put up a valiant fight trying to come back. If you've enjoyed this game, if you've enjoyed this week, can anybody stop the Aggies? If you've enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends about us, join the Discord, make a player in the college season, go tell friends that think they can run an organization to come be an owner, run a team, be in the draft next year, in this September when we have the draft. Come join Football Rivals. We are the fastest growing premier simulation football league, and we are here to stay. Have a great night, guys. Peace.